between the ears. And yes, we're a day early on the show, but that's what happens when you got the transfer portal hot and active. And for West Virginia, they are continuing to lose guys at a rapid pace, but that's not just them. That's just pretty much everywhere in the country right now. An alarming amount of players entering the transfer portal, most notably for the Mountaineers. And the reason why we're really doing this is because of Kaden Prather, the guy that was expected to be their number one receiver next year, has entered the portal. And that's a big problem for West Virginia for a receiving room that has lost Sam James and Bryce Ford Wheaton to the NFL draft. You lost Reese Smith earlier to the transfer portal, which means now West Virginia is losing their top 4 receivers from the 2022 season. What's that leave left for West Virginia? Well, that's Jeremiah Aaron and Cortez Braham, the 2 junior college guys that saw minimal action this year, but were in the offensive rotation. You have Jarrell Williams, who is a very talented prospect that will be able to redshirt this year, and he'll have still 4 years remaining. And then you have 2 former walk-ons in Preston Fox and Grayson Malashevich. So a very thin receiving room right now in terms of there only being really 5 guys, really 3 that you really are going to look to count on moving forward. But again, how does Neal Brown attack this? Because you look at the transfer portal, and yes, they're going to attack that anyways. Like I said, they have no choice. They were going to do that anyway. But how do you convince these guys that have more than 1 year of eligibility that you're going to be here when they're still here, have 2 or 3 years left of eligibility? If you're a grad transfer or a guy that's only got 1 year left, it's probably not that hard to convince those guys because hey, this coaching staff is going to be in Morgantown in 2023. Beyond that, it's a big question mark. So we don't know what those guys that have multiple years of eligibility really view this situation with Neal Brown and this coaching staff, and if that's going to play a major factor or not in their recruitment or in their decision. And I think it will. So if you don't know some of those guys that West Virginia is targeting in the transfer portal, please go to our website, click on the WVU Football Transfer Tracker. At the very bottom, you're going to see a long list of guys. I'm still trying to build that database as we speak and trying to keep up with it so you guys know who West Virginia is in on, who they're interested in at least, and there's a ton of receivers on that list. So go to our site, WVU Football Transfer Tracker, for that information. And again, big loss for West Virginia to lose Kaden Prather. Was going to be their number 1 guy next year. Don't know what you're going to do in terms of throwing the ball when you don't know what you're going to have at that receiver spot. So tough spot for Neal Brown, tough spot for the Mountaineers. We'll see what they do. Now, we do know one thing is for sure, Rodney Gallagher is going to be here next year. Incoming freshman, very talented, probably will have a chance to play right away, depending on what they do in the portal. Very talented kid, top-rated recruit. Depending on it doesn't really matter what recruiting service you're looking at. He is going to be the top rated guy in this 2023 class for West Virginia, at least as of right now. You also got Traylon Ray, Torrey Johnson Jr., Elijah Caldwell. So there is help on the way. It's just unproven and inexperienced help. That's not what this team needs right now. They need to go get a guy that can be immediately impactful for this offense. So we'll see what West Virginia does. They're going to have to go get some help. They have no choice but to. And, that's going to do it. So be sure to follow us on Twitter at Mountaineers Now. Follow myself on Twitter at Callihan_ for all the latest recruiting updates and information. Be sure to follow us on those 2 sites and also go to our website as well. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you guys next week.